Another exciting day along the busiest transcontinental railroad main line in America, coming up in this episode of Locomotive Mike. We are back in Carolton, Missouri, along BNSF's double track former Santa Fe Raceway, the Marceline Subdivision. It hosts up to 100 trains on average a day, including this westbound intermodal train. The Marceline Subdivision makes up part of the trunk of the former Santa Fe Railway, hosting traffic between Chicago and points in California and Texas. The former Santa Fe depot here has not seen passenger trains since Amtrak made its last stop here in 1979. These days, Amtrak's Southwest Chief flies by at track speed. As of 2015, city leaders were working to get an Amtrak stop re-established here in Carolton. Just east of Carolton, we find WB Junction. This is where Norfolk Southern's former Wabash, Kansas City district comes in and begins a trackage sharing agreement with BNSF for the next several miles west. This NS general merchandise freight heads by on its journey to Kansas City. Norfolk Southern's Kansas City district serves as a funnel for traffic from Detroit and St. Louis, lines from those cities merging into this district at Moberly, Missouri. Our NS train heads off into the distance as an eastbound BNSF grain train comes into view. The two right-of-ways have quite a gap between them along this segment. BNSF owns the north track, NS the south track, but trains from both lines can run on either track. These long trains of brown BNSF grain hoppers have been nicknamed earthworms by some rail fans. Moments later, on the north track, a BNSF double-stack intermodal rushes past us. Only moments pass by before the headlights of an eastbound Norfolk Southern train pop into view on the south track. NS trains through here are pretty heavy with auto racks and auto parts, serving the car and truck manufacturing plants in the Kansas City area. Next, we head into the town of Norburn, a farming community with several grain elevators, including this unique one, overlooking the North Main being occupied by this Kansas City-bound grain train. Next up, Union Pacific flies in with a general merchandise freight for Kansas City. As we mentioned in part 1 of the series, UP has trackage rights on the Marceline Subdivision between Chicago and Kansas City. Our parade of trains continuing with this eastbound BNSF freight. Next, we travel west to Henrietta. From the old Highway 13 bridge, we catch this KC-bound trailer on flat car train blasting by the old Santa Fe depot. Just a while later, we were there as this double-stack intermodal roared underneath us towards Chicago. Our next stop is Camden, a tiny village where the BNSF and NS main lines squeeze by. Here, a westbound double stack rolls toward us. Hearing a train coming from our west, we set up our camera on the BNSF side, only to find out our train was actually on the far track. You can see the two main lines separating into two different alignments, heading back toward Henrietta. Our last catch in Camden was this double-stack intermodal, rounding this sweeping curve on the north tracks. Just behind our train is Fleming and CA Junction, where BNSF and NS lines diverge and follow separate routes the rest of the way to KC. On the other side of CA Junction and just south of the town of Orick, we find one of the only remaining Santa Fe signal bridges along the Marceline Subdivision. This time, a UP intermodal train does the honors of ducking underneath. Now looking east, we see the headlights of a train coming off the Missouri River Bridge at Sibley. The Kansas City metro area is just on the other side of the river. We'll cover that segment in a later episode. But for now, we leave you with one more eastbound BNSF double-stack train. The days of the iconic red and silver Santa Fe war bonnets may be long gone, but the Marceline Subdivision remains by far one of the hottest, busiest mainline railroads in America. Thanks for watching, everyone. Hey, have you subscribed to our channel yet? Not only would we appreciate that, it'll also help us to keep these cool train videos rolling your way. Also, be sure to check us out on Facebook, Twitter, and railroadpicturearchives.net. Until next time, this is Locomotive Mike.